Now, this might take some getting used to. I know, it wasn't meant to be this way. Truth be told, my beard trimmer died halfway through a shave and I looked absolutely insane, so the whole thing had to come off. If you think you're mad about it, wait until you see Mrs. IMO's reaction. She has not seen this yet. She is going to be livid. But nonetheless, welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This is a fictional horror tale of the last voyage of the Demeter, a Victorian export ship that mysteriously came back from its final journey completely desolated. So diving straight into the positives about this movie that honestly popped up out of nowhere. I had no idea it was coming out, but here it is. It does have very enjoyable set design, costume, musical choices, all of which feels like plenty of effort and thought has been put into the making of this film. They've really tried to make this feel fitting of its time, and I think they do a fantastic job of that. Even the way people talk, it's very refined and specific to their roles. And there's some nice subtle character details in these moments as well. And to be honest, I was a little bit excited going into this film because I am a real sucker for films like Master and Commander. I am a real sucker for the whole Mr. Bixby, hoist the colours. Aye, sir. You heard him, you horrible lot. Hoist them colours. Yeah, I don't know why, but I really do enjoy that, whether it be on a historical level or it's the way that all these tiny cogs fit into each other to make a bigger machine move, especially in settings where technology is basically non-existent. So you already had me on board with the premise, and I do think the cast are pretty solid. Some of them are better than others, but I don't think anybody let the side down. I always enjoy Liam Cunningham in just about anything that he does. He really is a terrific actor and is criminally underrated. Now, this role could have easily been phoned in to be just another Davos Seaworth from Game of Thrones, which Liam Cunningham also played. But just to prove that he really does have good acting chops, this role was completely different to Davos Seaworth. This performance was much more stoic and serious and full of wisdom, with a brief fluttering charm and kindness to the character that helps you attach to him. The film manages to build some pretty good suspense and tension. The sound design was pretty good in particular. The gore was a lot better than I expected. At least it's visible, unlike many of the other horror films I've seen this year. But sadly, it really does start to tail off from there. Let's get into those negatives. The lighting isn't great. I feel a bit harsh moaning about this because I can tell that they've done this to be realistic. And credit to the film for doing that. That's right, you probably wouldn't be able to see your hand in front of your face. But it is a movie, and I as an audience member would like to see the film. And what's really frustrating about The Last Voyage of the Demeter is that it really isn't doing anything new you haven't seen before. It just evolves into this generic ghost ship, well, vampire ship if you will, and you've seen it played out 100 times over. You really do just sit there and wait for each character to be picked off one by one, usually with lots of silly decision making leading to those deaths. And it's very frustrating because it could have been so much more. If you're asking me, what you should have done with this is you basically should have made a Victorian version of The Thing on a boat. And there are moments in the film where they try to take plot beats of that idea, but they do it in such a dull manner. And this one nearly made me pull my damn hair out. They also tell you the ending of the film within the opening text, which is so stupid. I didn't know about the Demeter, but 2 seconds in I knew the full story. And after 2 seconds, I immediately knew what to expect because you just told me what happened. That's like me releasing a new original whodunit movie that I've been spending hours getting right and putting to perfection, and just as you all sit down in your seats and I turn a projector on, I jump on the stage and say, I just want you all to know that the wife did it. Yeah, you're all going to be sat there thinking, I wonder how this plays out. And that's exactly what The Last Voyage of the Demeter does to its audience. Come on, movie. Think about what you're doing. Think about your presentation. And I will finish on a very mixed complaint because on some aspect I kind of love it. The ending is so stupid and takes itself so seriously in trying to set up a sequel that I genuinely couldn't help but laugh. Do I go into spoilers? Do I just tell you what happens? Does anybody really care? I'll do a spoiler bit. Skip to this time if you don't want to know any spoilers because I just need to talk about this. So, despite telling us at the beginning that nobody made it, one guy does make it. And he's then having a drink in a London pub and he's asking all these questions where he can find these people, only to look over his shoulder to see some sort of vampire just sat in the pub, just having a pint. Yep. But then this vampire, like, gets up and scratches him and, like, flees, and the guy gets up and there's all this narration of, like, but whatever happens, I will catch this beast, as he's, like, running through, like, cobbled streets of London. And this keeps cutting to this vampire going, yeah. I'm gonna give The Last Voyage of the Demeter a 3 out of 10. There's a good film in there somewhere, but it ain't what's on the screen. Liam Cunningham is trying his hardest, and the tension was acceptable at best. I do appreciate that it's something different, at least on the surface level, but that's exactly the problem with the movie, that under that surface level, it is a one-way trip to Clichéville with a very underwhelming story that takes itself far too seriously and doesn't have anywhere near enough fun with its own idea. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen The Last Voyage of the Demeter? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this crazy ginger, we can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.